In today's video, I'm going to give you 9 downsides to living in Salt Lake City, Utah. And these are some things you might want to consider if you're thinking about relocating here to the Salt Lake City area. And I'm getting started right now. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman, and I'm with the Living in Salt Lake City channel. So if you want to learn everything about what it's like to eat, sleep, live, and play here in the Salt Lake City area, then please click the subscribe button below so that you can get notified every time I do a new video. And we have been getting a ton of people that are reaching out to us about wanting to move here or relocate here to the Salt Lake City area, and we love it. And we want to help you find that perfect place. So give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, whatever you got to do to get a hold of us so that we can help you when you're moving here to the Salt Lake City area. So you wanted to know maybe some downsides about moving here to the Salt Lake City area. So I put together a small little list of 9 things that might be concerning to you, or they may not. But if you watch the rest of the video, you'll know all those 9 things. Number 1 on the list is the number of conventions and music type events that go on here in the Salt Lake City area. And while Salt Lake City is a growing metropolis, we just aren't as big as, say, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York is, as far as having the amount of things. So when concerts come to town, we typically get the big name ones, but we don't get some of the smaller ones that you could get elsewhere. So you may have to go to like Las Vegas. Heaven forbid you got to drive and spend the weekend in Vegas to go see a particular show or concert event or something. But you definitely can make that happen. And Vegas is only 5.5 hours away, or a quick hour flight amount of population yet for us to have all the different events that other places will have. So that's why that's number 1 on my list. Number 2 on my list is nightlife. So if you are coming from someplace like Nashville, where they have a huge nightlife and bar scene and just hundreds of bars, or other parts, Chicago or New York or Los Angeles, where there's tons of nightclubs and bars and that sort of thing, just know while we have some, we just don't have the amount that they have in other cities. It just isn't, I guess, as popular, so they haven't built as many. There have been a lot more added, and since they've changed some of the rules where you don't have to have a membership anymore to go to them, that's made it much more popular and easier to get into and do. Just know that we don't have the robust nightlife that you're going to find in other cities. So if that's a big thing for you, then I want to make sure that you were aware of that. And you should check out what different nightclubs and stuff are here when you come visit, and make sure that it has enough of what you're after. Number 3 on the list, transportation. So you're going to be probably using your car the majority here. However, we do have the track system, which is growing, and you can use that. And we have a light rail system, and we do have busing around. So you can definitely get around, but going west to east, there just isn't a ton of that availability of it. Where the reason that I add this to our list is if you're coming from an area where they have killer transportation like New York, then we don't have anything like their subway system here that's that robust yet. We do have some transportation, so it's definitely better. Like, it blows away Nashville as far as transportation, like taking the track system. However, where I live in Harriman, I can't get the track system yet. I don't even know if they're planning to build it there, but it ends in South Jordan. So I have to drive 7-8 minutes from my house to get to a track system in Daybreak. And then I could take that to the airport or take it up to Salt Lake City. So it is cool that you could take that, but it's not as convenient as if it was in my city. And they are building a new tracks area when they build the whole new thing called the Point that's in Draper, where the prison is. So that'll expand it some and make it a little bit better to get around. And maybe then we'll push that into Bluffdale or into Harriman as well at that time. I'll have to do more research to see if they're planning to move the tracks any further. But know that transportation is good. It's just not great. Next on my list is the west to east roads. And while we have pretty good north to south transportation, like freeways and roads and stuff, west to east, you're taking city streets to go west to east. So if you're wanting to go from, say, Sandy, Utah over to South Jordan, and you wanted to go west, you're going to be hitting a massive amount of stoplights. So it takes you way longer than if there was some other faster route to get over there. And if you try and take Bang It or around, it's not much quicker. When you use your Google Maps, it says it's about the same amount of time. It's just not, you're not sitting at lights. So we just don't have a great west to east like corridor or freeway system or something that they need to build. Be really cool if they went down one of the roads and just built like an above ground to like 4-lane highway that went above, and that way you could take that all over and just have a couple different on ramps or off ramps. But west to east just is not all that great. Next on my list is sports teams. So Utah is probably most famous for the Utah Jazz. That's our only major professional team. And then we do have, they just got the Real Salt Lake. So we do have a soccer team or football team, whatever you want to call it. That the other sports that are popular here, we have a minor league hockey team. We have University of Utah football team, which is pretty good year in, year out. And then we have BYU that's typically pretty good. But those are kind of our major sports. They have a minor league baseball team. We went and saw them play. That was fun. So definitely go see a minor league baseball game. There is talk or a little bit of rumors that were going around that maybe we'll get a major league baseball team in Draper in what's called the Point area. So we'll see what happens there. That would be super cool. I don't know how they're going to expand because baseball, I thought, already has like the right amount of teams. So we would maybe have to have a team relocate. So maybe you, if you know anything more, you could comment below about that. But sports wise, we're not a huge sports area like some other parts of the country where they have all the major sports. We do have sports for you to watch, of course, just not all of them at the top tier levels. So sports was that number on my list. Next on the list is weather. And do you really want to live in snow? I guess that would be a big thing, and the cold. It's been quite a bit of snow this year compared to last year. Not something where it's like a major amount, but we've had snow and I've had to shovel my driveway a few times, and then we've had them come by right after I've shoveled, and the people who shovel will come by and handle that. So know that we have gotten more snow than normal this year so far. Not like some huge, 12 inches of snow, just enough that the roads get slushy and icy. We have dry heat here. So know that it feels like California, I guess, as far as the heat goes. It's not humid, which is one of the major reasons that I love living here. Tired of humidity. I don't mind going to visit it, but I don't want to live in it day in, day out. I don't like the fact that when I go from my front door to my car, I feel like I need to get another shower. So we have the dry heat, which the dry air here also leads to you're going to need lots of lotion, sunscreen, and chapstick. So make sure you have those on hand. Also stay hydrated because of how dry it is here. This summer, we also have poor air quality here, especially in the wintertime. We have something called the inversion layer. So I talk more about that in other videos, but know that during the summer, we get California blows in all their smoke from their fires. So we get poor air quality from that as well. All in all, we have all 4 seasons here. So if you're wanting to see the leaves change, we probably have some of the best views of that anywhere in the nation. I think Colorado has some amazing views as well to check out. Just know that we have all 4 real true 4 seasons. We get snow. We don't get a ton of rain. I think we get like less than 20 inches a year of rain. So snow is our major source of water. But we don't get a ton of snow in and around where like in the Salt Lake City area. It's more up in the mountains that we get all the snow. Weather would be something you should be aware of and make sure that you're okay with living at elevation, and that you want to deal with high heat in the summer where we can get 100 to 105 degree weather in the summer. And then in the winter, it could be, 8 degrees, 10 degrees, 12 degrees. Most days it seems to be around 25 to 30 for the temperature. And then we do get snow up to somewhere around 4 feet. Doesn't seem like we get it all at once. So it'll be spread out, which is pretty awesome. 4-wheel drive car, all-wheel drive car is fabulous to have, or just get a second set of snow tires and throw those on in the winter time. Next on my list is the poor drivers. I've touched on this numerous times, but I will keep harping on it. It's one of my least favorite things about here is the driver quality. I thought Tennessee had really bad drivers due to some of the cities that or states that surround it. However, here the drivers drive much faster and more erratic. They don't like to signal. They just change lanes. You got to be on your toes when you're driving here. You can let me know what you think in the comments if you live here about the drivers here, but I have found that they are not good, and I don't know where they're all coming from. At some point I'll figure that out, and then I'll let you know that, hey, they're the natives that live here in Utah, or they're all the people that move from California here and they can't drive. But just know that we have poor drivers here, so you should be paying a lot more attention. It could be too that we have one of the youngest populations, and maybe that's it, since maybe they're on their phone more than they should be while they're driving, and that leads to poor drivers. I don't know, but what do you think? Just know that you should be aware of the drivers that are here in Utah. And then the last thing on my list is the distance to major cities. You're looking at, to go to the next real big city, which would be Las Vegas, 5.5 hour drive. So for us, it hasn't been a really big issue, other than we've wanted a few things at IKEA for our home, like a bookshelf for my wife for her crafting stuff, and they haven't had it in stock often in Draper, where there's the IKEA. So we've had to go to Vegas to pick stuff up, or even my wife has tried to get me to go to California to get a bookcase, and I'm like, I'm not driving 10 hours to go get you a bookcase. So we just haven't gotten that. I just keep checking on IKEA's website, but know that, as far as big cities go, you're looking at 10 hours to get to Los Angeles, 5.5, Vegas, Denver is probably 6 or 7 hours to get to some other big city. So it's cool that we don't have a big city that's super close, but it's also not cool when you need it to be. You're going to be able to find pretty much everything that you need or want in Salt Lake City because it's big enough, but you could drive to somewhere. Those were my 9 downsides of living in Salt Lake City. If you can handle those, please reach out to me and my team. We'd love to help you. Give us a call, send us a text, give us an email. We'd love to chat with you, get you set up on a Zoom call, talk to you about moving and relocating here to the Salt Lake City area. Please consider Utah. I think you'll love it here, especially if you love the outdoors.